The Narcs cart, bro, primo stuff. It worked. It
It
worked
did the whole
all
week.
week.
It
Yeah,
did.
we didn't
The
have
only
any
problem
struggles.
is it shut off once.
Yeah.
And the scavenge pump relay. That was it.
Yeah, and both of those were in the rain on the drive day.
I'd say otherwise, it drove like a Cadillac all week. Man, it feels like it's been forever since we've been on here.
Of the Drag Driver Pete Show presented by Summit Racing. Tonight we're recapping the biggest weekend in drag and drive, how many racers participated, who ran what, and who won what. It really does. It feels like it's been a while. But
I mean, that week was a month, right?
Yeah, quote Robert Voss there, Camp Counselor Bob. Man, Mega Week was crazy. We're going to talk about it the second half of the show. The first half of the show is like recapping the biggest weekend in drag and drive history. Like I was making notes, and dude, the show tonight's it's jam packed. It's jam packed. So I guess I probably better get started, huh?
Yeah, we should probably do that.
All right, guys, welcome to episode 109 of the Drag Driver Pete Show presented by Summit Racing. Tonight we're recapping the biggest weekend in drag and drive, how many racers participated, who ran what, and who won what. Mr. Eric White, hit that intro video and let's do this, sir.
All right, let's do it.
What an incredible week last week. We're gonna talk about that at the end. Guys, my name is Mike Narks. I'm the host of the Drag Driver Pete Show and news that happens on Saturday mornings. Tonight we're live for 2 hours, no guests, literally hammering through all of the data that came from the biggest weekend and subsequent week in drag and drive history. My right-hand man, Mr. Eric White, was on that trip with me, and dude, I can't wait to talk about it, man. Tell him what you got going on.
I am Eric White, co-host of both the show and the news, everything drag drive repeat related, part of artwork. This past week was photographs, still going through, what did I tell you, 6,600 photographs for this week. So we're all the way up to day 5. So I got 5, 6, and 7 left to go. So those will be coming soon. But man, yeah. And then outside of that, Motorsports Paparazzi's been popping off. So been uploading some stuff there, trying to grow that. And it's been crazy.
Yeah, it has been wild, dude. And congratulations on all that. I'm actually going to share this. I'm asking everybody to do the same to the Rocky Mountain Race Weekers page right now. And I tell you, crazy group of folks out there. Some of our best race car friends. We just got to hang out with them, man. It was really cool to get to spend that kind of time with so many people. Like I want folks to understand how awesome it was to see everybody and hang out and just, man, we're going to talk about that later, I promise. Thank you so much for being our race car friends. Hit the share button as you're coming in here. Let's do this. Let's have some fun. And, we couldn't have made that trip without our sponsors. Sponsors make a big part of this. They make our travel possible, our equipment possible, all that kind of stuff. So Summit Racing, Works, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil. We get to hang out with all of them this weekend or last week while we were on Mega Week. Howard's Cams had to lean on Luke B. Man, I appreciate him being such a great partner, actually overnighting a cam to us to try and get the old truck back together. It's actually what's going to go in the old truck next. J-Wire Solutions, big congratulations to those guys on their win. They all of the podium at Drop the Hammer was for the 545 class was J-Wire Solutions cars. WAF Racing, can't wait to see Chris very soon. Performer Built Transmissions, Car Change 3D, Power Tube TV, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk Classifieds. Y'all, we can't do it without all of those folks. So if you're trying to, get you some more car parts, we would appreciate if you'd slide over there and try and get it from them. That'd be awesome. But before we start the show, I want to talk about Graham Smith, Bad Apple Racing. You guys know this guy. He's been to the States a lot for Drag and Drive. Him and his wife Rachel are like the UK, the European liaisons for SICTA Magazine. They are highly involved in this community that we love. And obviously, you guys see the picture here for the folks that are listening on the podcast. It is Graham's 57 Chevrolet called Grimhilda. That is absolutely a beautiful car, fast car, all that kind of stuff. A couple weeks ago, he was making it past 150 plus miles an hour. Car caught on fire. He is okay. Safety equipment did its job. His suit and everything did what it was supposed to do. But the car is basically needs to be completely rebuilt. So they have a GoFundMe set up. I'm going to drop that down into the chat right now. And then they're about 91% of their goal right now. So we would love it if our race car friends could help put them over to be that close to their goal. That tells you that is a lot of race car friends that are already helping these folks out. Again, lovely couple. Love them. They do great work for the entire Drag and Drive community. And to see that go down, pretty tough, man. I'm glad he is okay. You guys know Tom Bagley. We absolutely wore him out last week. Got to have a ton of videos with Tom. He is Graham's co-pilot on a lot of the street weekend stuff. So they're actually working. Tom posted just a few minutes ago, upside down in another 57 Chevrolet that they're working to get ready for Street Weekend UK, which kicks off here pretty soon, like in the next 2 days.
Whew.
Yeah, pretty wild. Well, you guys know Summit Racing is our title sponsor here for the show, news, and the circuit. So Summit Racing's speed legacy began in 1968 as a one-man startup and is now the world's speed shop with 4 huge facilities and 200 plus catalog editions. They feel your passion, save you money, deliver fast, and offer top-notch customer service for more than 1,500 brands. Make sure to download the Summit Racing mobile app for easy access to speed parts. You can find them on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram if you're looking for places to follow them and see all of their awesome content. Also, you can tune into the On All Cylinders podcast, which is like automotive discussions, kind of like what we got going on here. From humble origins to the social media lane, Summit Racing stands by your need for speed. And if you don't already have the app downloaded, you can find it on summitracing.com. 1,500 brands, millions of products. I don't even know. I can't even explain the number of products they have. But one thing they did have last was 2 visitors.
Yeah. First time I've ever been to a Summit Racing. So obviously, as we were leaving Texas Motorplex, heading back to Tulsa, we made a pit stop here and stopped by the warehouse.
That was like an hour-long trip out of the way, but it was so worth it, man.
Yeah. So we got to stop there, which was super cool. For me, got to see the catalog with the pictures from Hot Rod Drag Week on there. Was very cool to see. Store was super cool, and even left with a new ATI balancer.
Yeah, we're standing the outlet center, which is for the folks watching. You can see me walking in there. Eric snagged a picture there. We were just walking around. We weren't going to buy anything, I promise. And then we start looking, well, dude, if you go faster than 1099, you've got to have a balancer. And Eric's Mustang is going to immediately go quicker than 1099. So it'd probably go 1099 on street tires. So we needed one. It was, dude, I think it was more than half off. Am I correct?
It was like $200 off.
Yeah. So we had to pick that up. So, had to do that. And obviously had a good time, man. The folks in there are so cool in the outlet center, plus in the big store. I mean, we didn't even buy anything in the big store. We could have bought some Drag Driver Pete merch, but we had a whole bunch of shirts and stuff. And by that point, we had one more day left. And you're like, I don't need a big brim hat anymore if we've got one day left. My neck will just be cooked. So
we wanted to we just wanted to make a stop in there, and we we're trying to get back to Tulsa. And it was a go in, walk around, check it out. Cool to see. We should probably get back on the road, just like everything that week was. We didn't plan real well.
No,
we didn't know what we didn't know going into it. That's what it was.
I think that's probably the best way to say it too, is because you really don't understand from a media side what you even need to do. Our plan was to follow like class leaders or 10 people, and dude, the minute we got there and saw 500 cars, that was out.
Right.
God, it was like too many people to hang out with. So anyway, anyways, we had a blast at Summit. Big thanks to Tommy and Alec who worked the truck at Tulsa and then at Flying H. And then from there, they kind of skirted on towards the house to, let them get their truck ready to go for Six Summer. Actually, I think they were getting the truck ready to go to Power Tour, and then it'll also be on Six Summer. So
and they sold out of the drag drive repeat brim hats on day 0 of Mega
and
Week.
and nearly sold out of shirts. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
Yep, that is for sure. Well, highly recommend if you're in the Dallas, if you're in New Mexico, if you're in Ohio, if you're in Georgia, swing by the Summit locations and you can pick your Drag Driver Pete Summit branded merch up right there. You can get shirts, hoodies, and big brim hats to help save for all that stuff. And I did get to give out the $100 on day 0, walking around. Give a big shout out to Eric Kuhn. He actually would not accept the 20. Appreciate that. So he just got a big hug and a race car friend sticker.
Pretty awesome.
Yep, it was pretty awesome. So again, big shout out to Summit for all they do for us and the community. The entire community has benefited so much by Summit. And then let's talk about some Drag Driver Pete updates, because if you guys don't know, we've been pushing hard, more than 80 videos just to YouTube in the last 28 days. Dude, that's almost 3 a day posted over there. So we probably could have done more. I'm surprised we only had I think of those, only 30 of those were short, which would have been the easiest to make while we were at Race Week, but we were out of time. So we crossed 10,000 subscribers. Big shout out to the Rocky Mountain Race Weeker family and all the folks that were watching on Bank Shift Live. Of course, Adam Dory, who helped us get there. We went into the tower at what, 99.98?
9. It was 99.99 when we walked up to him.
Texas Motorplex were like, please, sir, we need just one. Please, we need one.
And we got 15.
Yeah. And it just blew up, man. Literally the next time, he said something and we refreshed it and it was 10,006. Picked up 7. It was pretty cool. Big shout out to Todd Sizemore, who was our 10,000 subscriber. So appreciate him. And man, one thing we haven't talked about much, I'll back up one thing. One thing we haven't talked about much is the Drag and Drive World Champion, because it's literally been sick week until now. We had one event since the end of January or the start of February until now that counted for points. That doesn't, once you say it 2 or 3 times, that doesn't give you much to talk about after that. So with Rocky Mountain Race Week, I spent half the day yesterday, maybe more, working on points for the sick week RMRW event and the race week event, which was Group A and Group B. Okay. So lots of data manipulation yesterday, trying to get all of these things figured out. Want to give a huge shout out to Randy Seward, who is our first points leader with 2 events under our belt. 74 points. What's really cool about Randy getting this is he literally could not have gotten more points. He reset records at both Sick Week and Rocky Mountain Race Week. He was in Group A, set records in the classes for those. He ran, of course, 850s. That gives him an extra 2 points. Okay, he can't get any more. He can't go faster. And winning his classes gets him 8. And of course, finishing the 2 events. So there's very few racers that have done 2 events. Randy Seward is one of them. Azim Sheik, big shout out to Azim Sheik, out here with 70 points. Dude, that's 4 points behind. That's not bad considering he's a mid 9-second car. This is exactly why these points work. It's because Azim is behind by the 2 points that it would make up for the numbers. 2 points for 8 seconds, 0 points for 10 seconds. So Azim won a class. Hang on, I think I made notes about how he got to his. Nope. So I'm going to lay all this out. I've got an article that started basically. So Azim Sheik, 70 points. He's in 2nd place. And then one of our favorite cars, Jason King, out here holding up 3rd place with 57 points. One of the only other racers to do both events this year, both Sick Week and Rocky Mountain or Race Week. 57 points. Now from there, it gets tight for about the next 4 spots. Literally stuff missed. People 1, 2, 3 points away from the spot above them. So my plan is to do a post tomorrow morning that will drop, that will be talking about the top 10 and then how we are going to look moving into Six Summer and Big Sky Race Week, which take place next week, and how that is going to affect whatever points are now. You better screenshot, save the photo, because everything is going to change next week. Because there's going to be some racers that have done Sick Week, they did a Rocky Mountain event, and they're either going to do Six Summer or Big Sky. So they could be light years ahead of everybody to where it looks. So pretty awesome for those guys. And again, dude, I'm excited to be talking about the Drag and Drive World Champion stuff. That kind of lets me nerd out a little bit, to be honest. Having fun with that. And it was nice to be able to put all of that together. But dude, there's so much work that goes into doing that, because I have to make sure that this is a big part of this, because I know people are going to make comments when this article drops. You could not combine between Rocky Mountain Group A and Race Week Group B, you could not combine those as two events because you only made the drive one time. Okay. So even though guys like Goldstone and Anthony Watson did both events, they did not get counted twice for that. So just have that in the back of your mind. So I took whichever, like Anthony won both 14.0 index classes at Mega Week. He could only use the one that he reset the record in because he had one more point than the other class. So instead of 34 points, he had 35 points in one, and that's the one we use. So just keep that in mind as you're looking through all of this and seeing the top 10 and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty wild. I think at that point there were 900 and something racers already to have entered in a national level event, which is pretty insane considering we are technically the second event of the season.
Right.
All right. And then you'll talk about the sad stuff about how we blew Stanley up on the first run.
Yeah. So when I got there on day 0, I came up to you guys and asked if you guys made a pass yet. And you said no, because if you're going to make a pass, you wanted the pass to be during competition. So day 1 came around and Steven was in Group B. So we were definitely going to stay till Group B because we wanted to see him run in the tailgate class. So we got our pictures, we got our videos during the burnout. The truck makes a lick, it's going down track, and we see a little bit of black smoke and then a little bit of white smoke and then pulled over. So you and I obviously start walking down, which was the longest walk ever, I swear. Down to where he was, and then we cut across and he's riding down, get back to the pits, and just said there's no compression. We looked around, we found a valve cover gasket popped out. And so we really didn't know what it was. We started pulling out spark plugs.
It looked bad. So 3 and 6, both spark plugs in those holes definitely had shrapnel in there with them. They were mashed flat. It's pretty funny. Of course, I love when people tear stuff up. That's always cool. It's great content. And for me and Steven and Narcopic Customs, I love the learning process behind that. Why did it do it? What happened? All that kind of stuff. Steven here saying, I'm just glad it didn't make a mess, right? And that's a good thing. It didn't put any oil on the track or anything. It was really probably one of the wildest explosions. So it ended up deleting 2 pistons. The stuff in Steven's hand is at the track. These pictures are actually at the track. I have a video that's going out on Narcopic Customs of the when we pulled the heads off yesterday or Monday. It literally it's piston, like the wrist pin is still there, but there is no piston anywhere. Well, there's piston everywhere, but no piston in the hole. And it beat the the heads pretty bad.
Yeah, that was wild to see when you sent me that picture. I was like, where's the piston? It wasn't there.
Yeah, it was gone. Big shout out to the Maxons who we're doing some trading on a long block. So Steven's going to go ahead and put the valve springs on. Like I said earlier, Luke B at Howard's Cams has sent us a cam and push rods because we absolutely destroyed a push rod, like cut that dude in half basically. So we needed push rods anyway. So now it's a matter of we found 2 lifters that are destroyed as well. So going to be doing all that, fixing all that stuff, and should have it done by the circuit. That's kind of the plan. Should have it done by the circuit. Piston delete mod for sure. Listen, if you want to lighten up your rotating assembly, just get the pistons out of the way. But what was crazy is, dude, it had no compression, but the sealing surface on the cylinder heads were still fine. I mean, it just annihilated the piston. I don't even know how to explain it. Like it didn't
vaporize the one.
Yeah, it didn't torch a head. It didn't hurt like between cylinders or anything like that. Both valve covers or both head gaskets were fine. It just literally, they gone. No more pistons for you.
So is the motor already out of the truck and everything then?
No, it's here in the shop. My plan is to get the torque converter broke loose tomorrow morning early and then hopefully yank that thing out tomorrow night, maybe Friday night, something like that before I head towards Six Summer. So the Six Summer trip is going to be quick. I'm going to be up for day 0 and day 1 and then come back. We've got like 17 days until the circuit. So Tom, I tried that. Not recommended. Yeah. And the sad part is looking back, Steven and I both probably should have found a short block and just thrown it in there. But I guess a long block would have had to be done then. Anyways, all right, we'll know for next time. The Narcs cart, bro, primo stuff. It worked. It worked
the whole week.
Yeah, we didn't have any struggles.
Is it shut off once? Scavenge pump relay. That was it.
Yeah, and both of those were in the rain on the drive day. Go ahead.
I'd say otherwise it drove like a Cadillac all week.
It did great. What was crazy is it had just started raining hard and I knew we were going to be in trouble because of the positioning of the turbo, and we're literally coming up on a bicyclist on the side of the road and it just dies. as it had just started raining. I was like, it's going to be a long day. It'd been raining for 15 minutes and we were already in trouble, but it didn't. So we drove through another 8 hours of rain. Torrential rain.
That did happen.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a minute too. I didn't put any photos of that in here. We've got some good stuff that's coming, but I am thinking about driving the Narcs cart to Six Summer, so you guys up there may see it. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I'm trying to decide how we want to go.
Well, thanks, Tom, for jumping on.
Yeah, man.
We'll see you soon, hopefully.
Hopefully soon, or we need to have him on because that was great, man. His adventure was amazing for sure. Thank you so much for being our race car friends. Hit the share button as you're coming in here. Let's do this. Let's have some fun. We couldn't have made that trip without our sponsors. Sponsors make a big part of this. They make our travel possible, our equipment possible, all that kind of stuff. So Summit Racing, Deech Works, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil. We get to hang out with all of them this weekend or last week while we were on Mega Week. Howard's Cams had to lean on Luke B. Man, I appreciate him being such a great partner, actually overnighting a cam to us to try and get the old truck back together. It's actually what's going to go in the old truck next. J-Wire Solutions, big congratulations to those guys on their win. They put all of the podium at Drop the Hammer was for the 545 class was J-Wire Solutions cars. WAF Racing, can't wait to see Chris very soon. Performer Built Transmissions, Car Change 3D, Power Tube TV, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk Classified. Y'all, we can't do it without all of those folks. So if you're trying to, get you some more car parts, we would appreciate if you'd slide over there and try and get it from them. That'd be awesome.